Yep, there's a little thing.
Okay. Hey, my name is Senna. We are with the Witches Weald, and this is our first video. So if there's some rambling, see, I can't even pronounce things already. Rambling or mistakes, it's probably because we're newbies. So,
but also ramble.
Yeah, we kind of do that. So I'm Senna.
Yes. Am I supposed to talk now?
Yep, that's your turn.
Okay. I didn't know if we were just doing names or like this is my manifesto. I don't know. My name is Mairi. And yeah, she introduced us, Witches Weald. It's a thing. If you have not heard the word, it's like a stand of trees, like, you know, a small wood or a thicket, if you will. This is the rambling we were talking about before.
I would, actually. I would.
You would? I'm so glad.
I definitely would.
I'm so glad. I would as well. We can together. Whatever the verb in the sentence is.
So a little bit about us. We go back to what, junior high, high school? I can't even remember.
I think technically junior high. I think we were in some sort of musical endeavor back then.
Probably.
Like I was in 8th grade, you were in 7th grade.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah,
okay.
We did a lot of musical things together through our lives, and then we just kind of stayed friends forever. So
yeah, pretty much. It's weird though, because like we started out at like very similar points in life, which are like think about like just the term, the Witches Weald, right? You could probably get like a certain sense of like what we're into and who we are, but like we were kind of the polar opposite of that. And then we kind of like moved apart physically, like geographically. And then when we came back together, we were like into the same crap. It's crazy. Yeah,
that was pretty insane. Actually, it's funny because my mom took a picture of me in my apartment.
That's right.
And Mari noticed a crystal grid that I had in my apartment, which most people in my previous life, our previous lives don't even know what that is. So she noticed, which was awesome. And actually quite a few people that I reconnected with noticed different things in my apartment. They were like,
oh, really?
I got some questions. So
it was like a Senna themed I Spy or something.
Yeah. As you can tell, I have a little bit of organized chaos in my dwellings. This is just how I roll, and it actually makes me feel calm. So
good. That's all that counts. And if we ever do get any kind of following, maybe we can play like a Senna themed I Spy. You've got like a lot going on back there.
Actually, you know, I did it in my dorm room one time. Like I posted a picture from my dorm room.
Oh my god, I remember that. Didn't you take pictures and like post them online?
Yeah, and I had like one main one, and I was like, here, try and find these items. And like people actually played, and I didn't think anyone would even like comment, but it was like a big deal.
That's awesome.
Good times, good times.
Yeah.
My taste was a little different then. That was back in my palm tree days.
Yes, yes. I mean, really, the internet was a little different back then. Now all social media is like, this awful thing happened today, and like, yeah, the world's dying. Let's talk about it. And I'm like, remember when we just used to like poke each other? Like, remember those days?
Yeah, sometimes I still get those, and they're so crazy. Really? Like, why is that still a thing?
I didn't realize it was still a function on there.
It definitely is. Like, I wish they would just like remove that option altogether.
What the heck? That's weird.
Yeah, but anyway.
Yes.
So we have a like plethora of things we could talk about.
We do.
And we're going aimless with this. So do you have anything that's
like speaking to me to talk about?
Yes.
Oh my gosh, there's so much pressure. I mean, I have lots of things I could talk about. I mean, like I'm sitting at my altar right now, just kind of like a desk because you know, there's like a fan here, it's comfortable, whatever. Like, and I recently made it my ancestral altar. So like I've got all of these like pictures and artistic depictions of like more notable people I'm related to throughout time, just like chilling here with me and with you by extension. Yeah. But yeah, like,
yeah, I just am starting to take over the family genealogy. So just a little background story. My grandmother is in a nursing home now. And so when everyone was going through things and cleaning out her house, when they got to the genealogy, I was like, I call it. So I'm excited to go through our family history and maybe make connections of things that I feel ties to already, but I don't know what those ties are, and do some research and fun stuff like that. Like, I can't wait.
I can't wait either. Like, I can't wait to hear your stories, because seriously, since I started looking into my genealogy, it's going to sound so cheesy, but I mean, again, I don't know why I give you disclaimers, because, like, you know, we're on the same. And anyone watching this, if anyone's watching this, I'm sure isn't going to be shocked, but it's like I felt like all of these connections happened, like things that I've been drawn to throughout my life suddenly started to make sense. And I like saw these links to, you know, my life and the lives of, you know, people that I have never met before, you know, like that lived hundreds and hundreds of years ago. So it can be like quite a profound and, like, dare I even say, like, spiritual experience. So yeah, I'm really excited. Okay, fun. Okay, sorry. I have to, since we're not all familiar with everything that I've been doing, I texted you, I think the day this happened. Senna knows that I write books, and my most recent is a historical fiction. It takes place in the 1600s in, like, the colonial era, and there's, like, a tertiary character in my book who is a Native American courier. He's a member of the Wampanoag tribe, and his name is Massasoit. And I had written this well over a year ago, and then 3 months ago or something, I was tracing back a certain branch of my family tree, and I got back to Plymouth, and I think he's my 14th great-grandfather, was a chief of the Wampanoag tribe in that time period named Massasoit. Like, so that, I freaked out. I immediately texted Senna. Was like, oh my God. And it's just, I don't know, it's stuff like that. So yeah, I don't remember where I started that.
No, it's good. It's good. No, that's just awesome. Yeah, I can't wait. I can't wait to make the connections. But yeah, she tells me stories all the time of connections she's making. And I'm like, oh man, I can't wait. Like, I hope I don't, like, build myself up to something and then nothing happens. Like, I'm just like, I don't relate to these people at all.
It will come.
My grandpa has some Native American, and I've always felt very strongly tied to a lot of Native American history. And then also, actually, when I just visited back home where Mairi is right now. I just came back the other day, but the room I was staying in, my mom had hung up a picture of my great-grandmother, and total, like, hippie. Like, I mean, flower child, run around in the woods, pantsless, like, awesome. Like, my family is very conservative, and like we previously mentioned, we come from a more conservative background of sorts. And so it was not necessarily a kind of photo that I had expected of my great-grandmother. And then my mom just kind of explained to me, like, how she was, like, a free spirit and stuff like that. And I'm like, finally, somebody in my, like, family tree I can relate to.
Like, that's super cool. See, like, I feel like that's, you know, a pretty profound connection. And, like, see, that would be, I don't know, someone that you could, like, include a photo of on your altar and who you might, like, have a more natural connection with. Like,
absolutely. Yeah. And maybe, you know, some of you can relate to this, but, and I know you can relate to this, we kind of feel more like the kind of artsy, free-spirited, like, black sheep people in our family. Like, I mean, that's sure. Yeah, and so it's like this path has been something that we've been able to connect with, because we've gotten a couple of phone calls from family members about, like, questionable things they've seen on Facebook or whatever. And it's like, you had, like, it's just, yeah, it's, I think a lot of people can relate to that. And
oh, I'm sure.
It's like, there's so many times you're just like, I just want to get my own private Facebook so that people can stop calling me only when they see something weird and not to actually ask me about my life.
Or like feeling the need to like pray for my soul, you know what I mean?
Yes. Yes.
Like the feeling of even yeah, right? Like it just
even though you studied theology way longer than they have ever gone to ever. But yeah, it's a rough path to be on if you have that kind of background. So if that is where you come from, like I totally feel for you. And I know there are a lot of like Christian witches out there, which is kind of a new thing that's emerged, I think, in the last several years.
Okay.
And that's the cool thing about it is that it's your path. Like,
yes,
it doesn't matter what end of the spectrum you're on. You're gonna have people tell you how you're supposed to be doing things, but it's not about them. It's about you. It's about you know
about it so much because it's so. I feel like it's a like kind of a trivial word, but it's so like customizable and so personal. Whereas you know, like, growing up in a more like rigid religious environment, it's like you're kind of told this is how things are, this is how you act, this is black or white, there is no gray or room for interpretation. But like once you choose this kind of path, you can make it whatever you need it to be, which in my opinion is the purpose like of any kind of ritual or practice. You know, it's to like enrich the life of the practitioner. You know, it shouldn't be about people like laying down laws and being like adhere to this or you're wrong. You know,
right. Yeah. So, so Mairi writes books. What's funny is I'm a librarian, so I'm around books all the time. I also review books, and sometimes she reviews with me. But the thing about that I don't think my family fully understands is that like I became a librarian for a reason. Like I love learning, and I love especially cultures and world religions are a few things that I really enjoy learning about. And I love taking bits and pieces from each one and seeing how it can enrich my own life and my own practice, which I know a lot of people do, but also kind of see how it's evolved through time. And like, especially because I kind of grew up like Northern Baptist, right? So there's a lot of rules when you're Northern Baptist. And it's funny because a lot of those rules, as I've studied this stuff, are against things that the church originally had, or a lot of things that people see as evil were things that their own faith practiced in history. And it's so crazy how much like people are afraid of knowledge, and they really are bad. And yeah, I wish I could. Well, for the future. Yeah, and I say I wish I could do something about it, but I have like stuff I do at the library to try and educate people. So
education is super valuable in this day and age when people are kind of like post-fact, post-enlightenment. You know, like, I think that being an educator,
education is not scary. Ignorance is scary.
Yes, absolutely, absolutely it is. And I don't know. That's like something we can maybe talk about is like, because you and I are both very like convicted people. Like I think we have like a really strong moral code, and like we, you know, we try to live the best lives we can.
Contrary to popular belief.
What?
I said contrary to popular belief.
Oh yeah, right. Yeah, it totally goes against the assumptions that are made. But I don't know. Like lately, I've been kind of, I wouldn't say struggling, but kind of thinking about what I can do action-wise. You know, because I spend a lot of time with myself, and I try to be like a positive person. But like I'm like, what can I do in my life to like impact the world around me? And like, so okay, a little bit more about me. I work literally by myself in an office, which is kind of great for like someone who's so awkward and introverted, but like it also often gives me the sense of just not having much of an impact on anything because I'm so isolated. And I mean, it gives me the opportunity to, you know, write if I get all my stuff done, which is amazing because writing is my passion, but I can often feel like I'm not really doing anything valuable. And so I don't know, I don't really have an answer to that question, like what I can do action wise, but I was watching a Molly Roberts video the other day, and she had said something about how action is important as well as intention. And I was like,
right.
like, I need to do more. So if any of you, if there are any of you, have any ideas of like how someone, you know, someone like us, you know, following their own path can like contribute, maybe in a, I don't know, an unlikely way, or like ways that you feel you're giving back, to kind of make the world a better place. Because I do think that that is kind of intrinsic to the craft, I guess, as well as like a reverence for nature and the world as a whole, and, you know, all of its inhabitants. And yeah, because I'm like so isolated, sometimes I feel like I'm not really.
Yeah, it's funny that you say that, because it's like a lot of people in this path, I know for me specifically, because I do love nature so much, I feel more mindful and like I'm giving back to at least like the world and the universe when I'm out hiking or kayaking or whatever. But then it's like, we focus so much on that, and then we're like, what are we doing for like people? Like, you know, so I totally understand what you're saying. Although I have to work with people all day.
Right, exactly. You do impact people. Like, you educate children, and you, like, you know, you interact with families, and like, I don't. Like, I see delivery people, and that's pretty much it. And
but do they know?
And I can trust them. Huh?
Do they know your name?
Yes, I think. I don't know.
So, I'm in a very small town right now, like way smaller than I would prefer. And like, I mean, I know the UPS guy, I know the USPS guy, like I know everybody, and everybody knows
one of those like, oh hey Phil kind of situations.
Yeah, like, and it's like, it's a little weird because I'm not quite as like, I'm very introverted when I know the people I'm around and I'm comfortable with them, but otherwise like I'm really not. And so I'm like, too many people know me, and they're like, I saw you in the paper again yesterday, and I'm like, man, again. like it's kind of embarrassing. Because there's just so many.
You know, that it shows that you're like, you're making a difference. You know, like,
I'll just give you some of my people, and
I don't know if I would have the same pull. Because it's like you are like, you're good with people. I feel like when you have to be, you can be like really charming and personable, and like, and I'm the type of person, and I think I've told you this before, that like I used to avoid getting my hair done like the plague, because I would be the one person in the salon that's just like dead silent, and then trying to force like small talk with the hairdresser, and I didn't know what to talk about. So I'm like, so what's your favorite thing to do to hair? You know, I'm that person. So
as someone who was once a cosmetologist.
Right. I'm sure you dealt with a fair amount of that.
Sometimes you really appreciate those people that don't want to talk to you. So many stories from behind the chair. Oh my goodness. But no, I don't believe it one bit. She's better with people than she admits to.
Me?
Yeah, you. Who? No, that guy over there.
I don't think. Is there someone else involved in this? Like, okay. Maybe the awkwardness is endearing to some. I don't know. Maybe.
I feel like I'm very awkward. Like,
I feel like that's part of why we work so well. Like, we're just.
And that's why, like, we entertain people when we go to stores.
Yes, we never mean to, but anytime we're physically together, we have an audience. I don't know how exactly it happens, but like, we're being watched.
Yeah.
Like, low key.
Yeah. There's a pretty awesome metaphysical store nearby up there. And so we went there actually on 4th of July, because apparently we had nothing better to do. It was like on holidays, so no one was there, but they were open, so we were excited.
Yeah.
And like the guy, like we just asked him when we checked out, like, I hope you were at least entertained by us for the last hour. And you only got 1 more hour to go. So congratulations.
Yeah, seriously. We are the slowest shoppers ever, because we both want to look at the same thing multiple times, like before we can get to it.
Yeah, I just do like Googles, like laps around the store.
We probably got a lot of steps in that day.
Yes, definitely. I think
I felt that too. What?
I said I think I got 10,000 that day.
Did you? I didn't check. I should have. I should have checked, but yeah, I think that guy, he might like live there or something. Like he has an apartment like attached to it or something because it's open like 365 days a year, which is amazing. But like, I think he was like back in his like home or something, and then like we came in, he probably like has like a sensor or something. He's like, ah, dang it, like I was gonna get a day off.
Yeah.
Oh, wow.
I love going to metaphysical stores.
Me
I just
too.
like there's something about it, and I don't care like. So I live like a little bit past Nashville, and they have tons of metaphysical stores. But like I have to make a day of it and go to like every single one, even though like they all have the same stuff.
Right.
But they all know.
Oh, do they?
Yeah. So like when there's one in particular that's in Mount Juliet. And they had a booth at the Galactic Expo. If you've ever been to the Galactic Expo, if not, you should definitely go.
I was supposed to go with her this year.
And then she bailed on me, which was rolling.
Tore the ligaments in my ankle.
Never mind. Let's move on. So the Galactic Expo. It's really awesome. I know some people have gone in the Spell Club, which is one of our on Facebook. Some of them have gone, and there's just like tons of metaphysical booths. There are like Reiki healers and things like that. It's so awesome. But one of the booths was from a store that I often visit in Mount Juliet, and they totally recognized me. Which was pretty funny because there were so many people there. But I'm like, wow, I must go pretty often.
That's awesome, though.
Yeah, it's like 2 hours away.
You know, like where everybody knows your name. Like, it's not a bar, it's a metaphysical store. And it's buy drinks, but not incense. Like, the same basic concept.
It's pretty sweet. So
that is pretty sweet. I need to like work up rapport with the guy at the local metaphysical store, because like I only go when you're in town, pretty much.
Really?
Yeah, and I love that place, but it's like I don't know. I don't know. I'm like weird about going places alone. And like my wife, bless her heart, you know, she tries to be really supportive, and she's gone with me a couple times, but she is not interested and does not like. She won't say that like she's bored or she wants to go. But, like, I know that she doesn't want to sit there for an hour and a half while I smell every type of incense they have in the store, you know what I mean? Or, like, go through, like, so I'm, like, right now I'm playing with this, like, piece of banded amethyst that I got on our last little trip there.
Oh, yeah.
And I went through, like, every amethyst in that little bin, though, because that's the type of person I am. So, yeah, I don't like to go by myself. I should get over it.
No, this is why I need to move back.
Yes. Okay, yes. That was what I meant all along. You need to move back. And then we can frequent that store together.
I would like to. When I got to my program today, I was like, I did not miss this humidity one bit. It is so freaking hot out.
Oh,
you feel like you're sweating. It's awful. Ugh. I know some people really like South, but I'm not one of those people. And I always say like I would always like maybe even live in the South and then fly north for the winter, like summer, not the winter. Maybe Christmas, because I do miss a lot of snow around Christmas.
Yeah, this last year we didn't have that much though.
I think it might have snowed one day here, and that's like snow. Like,
yeah,
not hardly any
northern snow.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's hot down here.
I want to complain about the heat, but I'm sure it's not as bad. So I'm like, I'm fine.
No, it was so nice up there. It was. Listen,
it was really nice.
This is my shameless advertising for Michigan. So a lot of people, and I hate it. Okay, quick story time, because I'm a lesbian. So I moved out. Well, okay, so we're from Michigan. I moved out of Michigan like right when I graduated high school because I was just like, I'm getting out of here. I hate this place. Like, I'm gonna go live my life and be adventurous, and I want to live on the beach and whatever. And like I like literally like I decorated all my rooms like a beach, and we would paint murals on my walls, like, and I had a big palm tree, like that was yeah, and the like plumeria that was hanging from my doorway.
Oh yeah.
but that was my idea, and then I moved to the south, and like I've lived as south as Florida. I've lived a couple places in the south, and it's just awful. And like you don't realize what you have until it's gone. So I realized how much I do not like being in the south, how much I miss the north. But people don't travel through Michigan like you would say like Missouri. And so people know what hidden gems are there because you only go there for like layaways or something. And like there's like beautiful nature. The nature, like I've never found another place that has, and maybe like Washington State, but I haven't been on that side yet. But beautiful like greeneries and lots of really cool places to visit. The lakes are amazing. It's like being at the beach, but you don't have to worry about sharks and jellyfish.
Or like salt water stinging your eyes, or like it's basically going to a freshwater ocean.
Yeah, and people get like timeshares and stuff like right on like Michigan and stuff.
I'm like almost defensive. I'm like, yeah, they should. It's great.
It's super awesome. But it's like if you haven't visited, you definitely should. I really want to go to the Porcupine Mountains. I have not been there yet. And Petoskey Stone. I want to find my own Petoskey Stone.
I did find my own Petoskey Stone once.
You did?
Yeah, I found it sleeping bear, and it's like federally mandated that you are not supposed to take minerals off the sleeping bear dunes. And I was like, I'm just gonna like real quick. Yeah.
At Sleeping Bear, because that's a little more south, isn't it?
Yeah. Well, Sleeping Bear. Okay, so I'm gonna do that Michigander thing and show you on my hand. Okay. So like, Sleeping Bear is like right here. And Petoskey is like just north. So like it's like Traverse City area, like with Petoskey, and then like Sleeping Bear. And I was surprised to find it just because it was so like it's so sandy. Obviously, it's sand dunes. Like, and I wasn't on the beach. You're literally like hundreds of feet up above the water, and I found it up on the dune.
That's crazy.
Was it
a good one? Because some of them aren't that good.
No, it's pretty. I mean, it's small. I wish I knew where it was right now. I feel like it's actually somewhere in my bedroom. Like I did something with it. I don't know, but it's like, I don't know. It's probably like that big, and it's pretty round. Like it's and it's smooth. It's not like craggly or anything.
Yeah, that's weird. So it's almost like it's probably naturally polished from the sand.
Probably, yeah.
I would say.
At least like heavily buffed, you know.
I love Petoskey Stone. I actually ordered a bunch of them off of eBay.
Did you?
Yeah. But cool. A lot of the pieces weren't that good. And then there was a piece that was shaped like Michigan, which looked really cool. But they were tricky because the top of it was broken off, but in the picture they had it covered up with another rock, so you didn't know it. Awful. Like they totally did me dirty, and it's not cool.
Not cool, eBay seller.
eBay people.
eBay people.
So, I guess real quick, let's talk about kind of where we are in our paths.
Okay.
I'll let you go first.
Sure. Okay, so as I mentioned earlier, I've recently gotten very into my ancestry. I would say that it's probably become like, I mean, I guess I can't really say like any one thing is the most important, you know, facet of my path, but I will say that like my main altar, which is, I could show it to you, but you're kind of elevated on this other little cabinet right now. Anyway, it's like, I'll do an altar tour another time.
Yeah, we should definitely do an altar tour.
We should do that, like tours of our like sacred spaces.
Yeah, mine changes time.
What? Oh, that's true. Yeah. So mine doesn't often change. It just recently underwent a big change because I had been using my main altar, which is the size of like a standard interior door. Like if you can picture that size, like it's a desk that I made out of a door. So it's big and it's like, you know, covered in altar cloth and stuff. But I recently moved my ancestral altar from a little shelf, like in a bookshelf that it was contained to my giant door-sized altar because I was accumulating so much stuff. So like I used to use my main altar for like gridding and stuff, and now I use this like wooden box. It's like, I don't know, I use it as like a mini altar, and that's what I grid on and like do my like weekly tarot spreads and stuff. But yeah, so I would say that that's probably the most significant part of my path right now. I do a lot of meditation, and I do feel I've had like a few, I don't know, I guess connections. Like I'm a very skeptical person by nature. So even though I see myself as a really spiritual person and I've like adopted this kind of, you know, unconventional path, I still feel like I have to take it with a grain of salt and acknowledge the possibility that maybe it's just like my subconscious trying to talk to me or whatever. But despite, you know, any of that, regardless of what it is, I've found these experiences to be really profound, and I feel like I've learned a lot and has really kind of helped me gain some self-acceptance or like self-compassion. I struggle with that a lot. I tend to be really self-critical. So that's been really big. And it also kind of helps to, I don't know, give you like a sense of self in a way, like knowing where you came from, like in the long term. It's weirdly gratifying. At least it has been in my case.
How did you get started?
What?
How did you get started?
So I originally got started, God, I don't even remember why I originally decided to do it. I just like felt like I wanted to. I'd always been drawn to ancestry.com. But it was really expensive. And so I'm like, I'll just, you know, whatever. It's not that big a deal anyway. It doesn't matter. And then one day I just decided to do it. I hadn't been thinking about it. I just kind of did. And I immediately started finding things. And I don't know, and like paths to other things. Cause there's a lot of misinformation about studying your genealogy when you use like an online service like that. People, I think, just assume that this website is telling you who you're related to. Yep. And it's not. It basically just gives you full access to like public documents that are like you have to put your tree together person by person. So it's not like you're going to log on and someone's going to be like, you're related to King Henry VIII. Like it doesn't work like that. So yeah, and I actually think that makes it more of a profound experience because you have, like, you're kind of forced to get to know each individual, you know, in that tree. And it really, I don't know, started making me appreciate, I feel like I'm gonna get really cheesy here, like just how miraculous life is in general and the fact that we're here. Like, so statistically, it's already pretty unlikely that any of us are alive, right? I mean, each of our mothers has a finite number of eggs inside of her. It could have been any other one, you know, that she had fertilized that time, but it wasn't. It was you know what I mean? So that alone is kind of a big deal. And the fact that you didn't die in utero, but also if you think about the fact that like looking back through like your lineage, if any one of those people, anyone, and I've gotten to the point, my family tree is so huge at this point. I followed one branch all the way back to like the year 300. Like it's insane. Like, but if any one of those people had made a different decision and not had the child that they had, I wouldn't be here. Right. Any one of those like thousands of people and I wouldn't be here. And that's the same for everybody on this planet. Like that's pretty amazing, you know? And so it's kind of in a weird way, unexpected way, sort of like taught me to appreciate like the here and now and like living in the moment because it's so rare that I'm even here. But yeah, I guess in a nutshell, I mean, there's lots of other stuff I do, kind of generic stuff. Like obviously, like I like to smudge every day. I like to, I don't know, like Senna actually just got me into like buying incense. I was only making my own incense. And so I wasn't burning it as much as I would have liked because it's, you know, kind of tedious. Like, oh, I got to get out my mortar and pestle and grind some stuff up and then it doesn't burn as long. And so I think I like bought like my first like stick incense with her when she was here. And yeah.
Well, the girl had never smelled Nag Champa.
Never. I had no idea. And it's like the best smelling thing I've ever encountered. So if that's fun. But you know, I burn candles and cast circles and all that stuff. But
I'm still a real witch.
I'm not just into my ancestry. I do other things too. And I guess, you know, that's the most significant thing going on in my path right now. How about you, Senna?
Yeah. Okay, so right now, honestly, like, well, okay, at this very moment, I have been, not this, you know what I mean, but
right now.
I've never been someone who has focused on like prosperity spells or anything like that. Like, I just kind of figured like, I work for what I earn, you know, like I'm gonna get what I'm gonna get and it's gonna be awesome. But in the last, we'll say, year, with what libraries have been going through and what's been at stake, it's put some fire in my pants about some prosperity spells. So I've done like oils and money powder and the candles and my grids and everything, and I've actually seen results recently, like, and it's like I'm not making any more money, but somehow I have more money. Like, I guess like I'm just getting better habits or something, or finding better deals maybe. I don't know, because we found some really good deals when I was there.
That's true.
I shopped when I was there, but I was like, I've never really done that, and so that has been really successful as of late. My biggest thing that I am pretty consistent with is how much I follow the moon phases. The moon, I feel, has been like one of the only constants in my life. And so following the phases and stuff and keeping track, I know you deal with this too, but I can have a lot of anxiety sometimes, and having these things to focus on really helps my anxiety, and tracking the moon phases and being able to draw power from the moon, and working with my shadow self and things like that.
Ooh. About that, 'cause I haven't done any shadow work yet. So anyway, continue.
Fancy word. But like, these are things that I'm getting to know myself again, because I have spent a lot of years not being able to focus on who I am, or what who I feel I am, or who I want to be, and accepting that it's not bad, like, you know, and working with the ideals that I have, and the fact that like I'm just getting out of the box that I was, like, my family tried to shove me into for so long, and realizing like I don't belong there, and like you're just gonna have to accept that. But even if you don't, like, life is too short. Like, it's time to start focusing on me and the things that I've always felt drawn to. I mean, even when I was a kid, I was always drawn to the moon and how it affected us on Earth. And I mean, even if it's like crime rates go up and people have our babies, like, scientifically, it affects us. And that's kind of where I come from, because I am a little bit of a science geek, which I hid for so long, like most people, because whenever I would mention like astronomy or even astrology, like, I mean,
well, that's even a step, you know, further.
Yeah, people just be like, dude, that's weird, you know? And so I was like, okay, well, I'll just keep this to myself. But now it's like I can delve into it, and it actually has a lot to do with my job. So like, I work with science centers and stuff like that, and we have the best discussions about like how I believe that the moon has a lot of influence on us, how like planetary bodies and like celestial beings have an effect on us. And we don't even debate about it, but like, even like some of the things I say, because I'll bring science into it, they're like, huh, yeah, I guess, you know, I guess that could be a possibility, you know? So it's, I mean, I love that. Like, I'm a very curious person.
Yeah.
And so researching things, and like, if I don't just take something at face value, like if I read in a book and they're like, well, I call on this entity or like deity because I think they'll do this for me. Like, I will go and research it beyond that and see how it's like affected people's lives prior. And it's amazing because it's stuff that like we didn't educate ourselves on before. And it's amazing like how much even the idea of, you know, even like our mythological beings and things like that can really influence us. Like even just the idea of them.
Yeah, absolutely. And like what it represents. And
yeah. I think symbolism's awesome. I think symbolism helps simplify things for us, but also we can draw power from that. I think like I've always felt so strongly drawn to like certain colors or like certain smells or certain ideas or themes. Like that's just something that like has, I don't know, just like everything I've done in my life, you know, whether it's like decorating my bedroom or like, you know, something like that. It's something that I draw close to. And now that I like have been working with chakras for so long, and even when I went to cosmetology school, because I went to Veda, I mean, they had just reaffirmed all this stuff and they backed it all up with science.
Yeah.
I thought that was so awesome because I was like, okay, so if I'm crazy, you're crazy too, but at least more of me, like, it's all right. They base all their stuff off of Ayurvedic practices.
Okay.
So, Horst Reckelbacher, he was the founder, who unfortunately passed away a few years ago. But yeah, but I mean, I had to balance chakras, and at cosmetology school, they taught us how to balance chakras.
Yeah, that's really interesting. That's super cool.
Yeah, and like there was so much psychology that was involved in it as well. Like we had to show people certain symbols and things like that, and they'd have to tell us like not today or today, and then we'd have to make oil blends for them, and we'd have to like smell them, and we'd have to decide, you know, what notes they needed to balance things in their body. So it's just amazing. Like everything comes together. Like it's not just spiritual, but it's also for your own like physical health too.
Yeah, yeah, definitely.
Yeah, my herbs too. I love my herbs.
Oh, me too. Like I recently got into foraging as well. Like so, I've been reading up a lot on like edible, medicinal, and magical like weeds, essentially, and like.
Oh, I have this amazing book.
Oh yeah.
I have a couple amazing books, and one of them's like super.
I can tell. You're like, I have this amazing book as you like sit in front of a wall of books.
Look at this stuff, isn't it neat? Yeah, one of them's like super folksy, and like I think the guy who wrote it might be a little crazy, but it's like it's because there's like little demons like dancing with plants. It's really funny. It's like I want to say. No, it's not the Wildwood Apothecary. That's a different one. Wildwood Wisdom.
Okay. I'll have to get into that.
Right there, you see it? Right there. Right there. But, yeah, really awesome. But anyway, I think it's about time, actually.
Is it? Oh, yeah. Yep. Coming up on it.
Someone's got a date.
I do. I promised someone I'd be off the computer at a certain time.
She's got a curfew. No, I tend to steal her away for way longer. I steal her away for way longer than necessary. So
hey, it's fine with me. Because again, I like being able to talk about this stuff. Because I mean, my wife is a very gracious audience, and she'll listen to me, but she's not interested. Not really.
Yeah.
She just likes me.
Yeah. Yeah. So basically our whole idea before we close, our whole idea with this is basically we don't really have a specific idea, but that's like we want this to be a space, and we have the blog and everything. Also where I do some of my metaphysical book reviews. We want it to be a space where we can talk about our paths and our journeys and be open to discussion for not just us too, but like you guys out there. Any questions you have, things we can figure out.
Yeah, like I'm really into collaboration. So like even if like, because I'm not claiming to have any answers for anyone, but I'm happy to like be a part of a discussion to like help anyone reach a conclusion, and maybe I'll learn something too. And I'm sure Senna feels the same way, you know?
Absolutely. Yeah. And that's the whole fun of it. Like for instance, me getting into ancestral stuff, like I can ask you questions.
Yeah.
You know, there's stuff that I've worked on that you haven't yet.
Well, like tarot, like we keep trying to make plans to like practice tarot because she's like got more experience than I do. For whatever reason, it just does not stick with me. But we keep forgetting to do it. Like even when we were here, we didn't do it.
Right. Well, I forgot to bring my tarot cards.
That's true. I mean, we had my. Oh my god. Okay, since I know that we're being recorded right now, but I never showed you my tarot deck that I was telling you about.
Oh, I'm so excited. Okay,
it's literally called Tarot of the Cat People. It's from the 70s, and look at the backs of these cards. They're like psychedelic pairs of cats. Do you see?
Oh my god. Where did you find that?
I got them on a trade.
Oh my goodness.
I found them in a trade. I know, they're so great. And like every one of the cards has like, so it has like the primary figure or figures, and then it has like a magical cat. Fantastic. And I had started like a collection of tarot cards despite my inability to use them properly. And I found myself only using this crazy cat lady deck because it's autobiographical. And anyway, so yeah, that's something that I would love to learn more from you about.
Those are pretty fantastic, I must say.
I was so excited. Like from the moment I opened the box, I was like, yes! Like, so pumped.
I like have this thing for like, or appreciation for like magical cat paraphernalia. Like,
oh my god! Even like, okay, like while she was up here, I bought this phone case.
Yeah,
literally phone cases with glitter inside. Yeah,
it's the Unicat, and I got one too. Like, oh, it's like planets.
Yes.
Look how magical. They talked me into it. I wasn't planning on it, but because I have a Smarty giraffe that I also like.
Right.
Yeah.
You can switch them out. It can be like those old school Nokia phones with the different face plates, you know?
I have this like collection of like smart animals. Like, like animals with glasses. I think they're so funny.
That is pretty great. You have to keep this in mind. Oh god, that's bad. See, now that you told me that, because you know how much I go to the thrift store, any animal in glasses I see, I'm gonna like buy for you.
You should, because it's like librarian animals.
I am on it.
Yes. Woohoo. Anyway, hope you enjoyed this first video. I had noticed like 10 minutes ago that I apparently spelled it wrong, so I'm gonna have to fix it.
Oh, cool.
You're the witch's wheels. I was in a hurry to try and make this work because we've never done it before. So.
I could like, it's like so many possibilities there. We could be like a witch motorcycle gang.
Like leather jackets, but they have like cloak hoods.
Yes. Leather cloaks.
Yeah. That'd be super hot.
Yeah, it would. Oh my god. And really impractical. It would create so much drag. Like it could be heavy, you know?
Oh, that's pretty hilarious. Oh man, but I'm gonna fix that. But now you know that I did it because I mentioned it. So anyway, thank you for joining us.
Yes,
Excited to meet you. We hope to have more videos and stuff coming soon. Not always together. We'll have individual videos too.
But sometimes together, because this is fun. You know, at least on our end. I don't know if it is.
Yeah. You're probably thinking we're crazy, and
that's fine.
Just crazy. But we know that, so it's okay.
We've accepted it. We've like come to terms with it.
Yes. So yeah. Do you have any last words?
Oh my god! Because you got me into listening to my favorite murder, I almost just said "stay sexy" and don't get mad. Oh, we're gonna get sued for intellectual property.
I'm obsessed with this podcast, and I just get into it, and it's awesome.
I mean, it was only like what, like a week ago that you were here, right?
Yeah.
Since then, I've listened to like 30 episodes. Like, I am obsessed. Like, I can't stop.
Yeah, they're fascinating. And
They
like,
are. And they're so funny, too. Like, Georgia, Karen, is that her name?
Karen, yeah.
They're hilarious.
Yeah.
And Steve.
And the cat.
And Elvis.
Elvis. You want a cookie?
Oh, God. Anyway, this just became a video about a particular podcast, like real quick. Sorry, guys. That was not
for other people who don't even know we exist. It's great.
I know, they're like, huh? Yeah, that's true.
But anyway, so thank you so much. We look forward to creating a community and meeting people and just growing together.
Yeah, for sure.
So thanks, and
bye.
Bye.
Bye.